So, the Destiny Rising closed alpha was released this weekend, and I've been able to participate in the alpha and gather my thoughts about the game and play it. This video is going to be kind of just unscripted. I have the skeleton of a script, but I'm kind of just going to go off just my initial thoughts. I'm going to have another video this weekend going through the whole story. We don't have the entire campaign unlocked, but we do have a good portion of it. I've gone through just the first 2 chapters, and I'm going to be grinding that later this weekend, and hopefully get a video going through the campaign out as soon as possible. That's my next video. Destiny Mobile, it really does feel like what you think Destiny on a phone would feel like. The gunplay, movement, it's all really familiar, and it's pretty good. I mean, there's some mishaps here and there, and there's some kind of weird things like sliding doesn't exist in this game, so it's kind of weird having to get used to that. Other than that, it plays really good, especially for a mobile game. I'm having fun with it, and the sound effects, the visual effects, like how the UI is kind of done, it feels like Destiny. Like, the sound effects, they're the same. Like, you'll recognize it. The exotic sound effects, like upgrading things, shooting, footsteps, ability sound effects, they're all the same as they are in Destiny. NetEase has been pretty faithful to the source material. Like I see why it's set in an alternate universe, because where there's differences, there are pretty big differences. There is a lot of overlap between the 2 games. Like, NetEase hasn't just gone off the deep end, right? They've stayed faithful, which I am so glad they did. For example, the game states that Haven, the location that would become the last city, is in South America. This is accurate to Destiny, but this is such a little detail that not many people know. Where the tower is doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but Destiny Rising has kept it accurate. They have made sure that it states that the Traveler and the Haven and where everything's going on is in South America, which is accurate to the location Destiny. And this is such a little detail that could have been changed for something else. It could have easily been, this is in Australia, right? And I don't think many people would have really cared. But the fact that they stayed faithful to that little detail is like, okay, that means something to me. And where there are differences, the differences are welcome, and I'm really interested by them. Like, one of the things is that there are these giant sentinels, these big robotic protectors that were created during the Golden Age and have been blessed by the Traveler too. There's not that many of them left, but some are active, they're out there. There's one called the Loner that protects Haven. And of course, the new characters. So there is a lot of new characters, and there's a lot of familiar characters too. We have Kaber, Ikora, Scory, Yolder, Radagast. A lot of these characters are named in lore, but we've never seen them in game before. So now we're able to see, like, Kaber, how he is. It stayed faithful and presented fresh new takes and ideas at the same time, and I think this is a good example of an alternate universe being faithful to the main timeline while also having new ideas. I am really unfamiliar with mobile games. I do not play that many. Like, the only mobile game I play is Peggle on my phone. That's it. When I'm in there and I saw, like, there's a point where you have to go to a terminal on this location to kind of unlock all the lore. It's kind of like a Grimoire system. I was surprised by just how much there was. I have to go, like, there's a lot I haven't unlocked yet, and there's a lot I still need to read, but I was surprised that the mobile game had a lot of lore. Like, I just didn't know how much lore was going to be there going into it. I didn't know what to expect, and I was pretty surprised. I get the sentiment too. I've been reading it on some comment sections, and just there's a chat in the game where people are comparing this initial experience to Destiny 1, like playing Destiny 1 for the first time. And I can agree with that. It does have that sort of feeling to it, and that mystery, and that sort of exploring this new world for the first time ever. And there's a mission where you go to this giant hammer that's just in the ground of this skeleton almost, and it is like, it's really a cool environment that, again, is something new to Destiny, and that's like, it's awesome. That was an awesome mission. Another moment in the campaign where we go through a hive portal and we go and we meet Anuk, one of the daughters of Oryx and Crota's sister. And then in that mission, we have Crota talking to us directly. So they're setting up Crota as a villain here. That was pretty cool too. It's just a different way of structuring things, but it's familiar characters like Anuk and Crota who we've killed before, but presented in a different way. So I mentioned this in my first Destiny Rising video, but something I've always kind of wanted to see more in Destiny is just what Earth looks like after the collapse, and in the Dark Age, and in the Siege, what is left of Earth, because really it's just the last city that's all new. The rest of Earth has still been just destroyed and not rebuilt. So there's an emphasis here on human architecture and remnants of civilization. We get resurrected in a location called the Old City, which is in South America. It's pretty close to the Haven location. We start in a library. Interesting, because it's like this Golden Age library, and we go through, and then we go see this big hall where the Golden Age play of the Traveler used to take place. And it's just like these really cool environments And then we go to Jiangxi Metro, which was a hub for international communication in the Golden Age, but because of the collapse, it got destroyed. And now we have these people there making it their home, but it's been under siege by the Fallen. Ruined Golden Age city, but something we've never really seen before. And I know later on, they mentioned this on their website, we're going to go to another Earth location called the Red Sea Rift, which is located in the Middle East. And we've never seen a Destiny location in that area ever, which I'm pretty excited to see the Destiny take on that. There's a lot of characters, too, that were resurrected in the Middle East or have ties to the area, which I'm going to be doing a video going into the lore of every character just in one video, based off what we know right now. The two elephants in the room, there's two big ones. Number one, there's blatant use of AI, and there's the monetization, which of course is what everyone is worried about. In some instances, some characters are voiced by an actual voice actor, some just have an AI voice, and sometimes the character is speaking, like the character has a human voice actor, and then all of a sudden it switches to an AI voice, and then it'll go back to a human voice, or it'll switch, so they have both. This threw me off to begin with. I was like, what? Like, I was really like taken aback by it. This is not the final product of the game. It's an alpha. The developers have came out and they have said that this is just a placeholder. If anyone is worried that this game is going to be plagued by AI voices, it's not. These are just used as placeholders, and in the final product, it'll be replaced by human voice actors, which is great. Anyone worried? I was pretty worried too. It's just a placeholder, and they're not final. So the game is built on a drawing system, much like others in the genre. So you pull for characters, just like you do in other games, which I haven't really played any other gacha games. I've never played Genshin, never played any of them. This is my first. I've never played any of them. And I haven't really played too much with the drawing system so far. All I've done is I've drawn a few times, but just based on what the game has given me. And from what I can gather, just based off what hearing from other people, it's not the worst system. It tells you what you're gonna get a lot of the times. Like it tells you the probabilities of what you're getting, tells you exactly what you're gonna get, what you could possibly get in the next like few pulls. So the game does give you a lot of materials that you can use to then pull. I don't know how common this is in other games, but I have seen and I've gotten myself a lot of these materials that you can just use to pull. I don't know if this is just early on, like it just gives you a lot early on, then later on it'll give you less, but it's this leaf currency that you can use to just buy the draws, or you can just of course use real money to buy the draws, but it gives you a lot of currency you can just earn in game to purchase the draws. It could be worse. It could definitely be worse. It's not the worst system ever. We have to remember that this game, Destiny Rising, is not built for Destiny 2 players. It's made for people who enjoy similar games like this. For people who love this genre, it's made for that audience, because they want those people to get familiar with the Destiny IP. This game is a good thing for Bungie, all things considered, because it's only helping them. It's only exposing more people to Destiny. The gameplay feels just like Destiny, that you could go from this game and then go to Destiny 2 and be like, this feels the same. My initial opinion is I am pretty surprised by this game. I did not know what to expect going into it. I had no idea what the story and lore situation was going to be like. I didn't know how I was going to play. I was just really interested in what a Destiny mobile experience could be like, and I went into it and I was pretty surprised. I don't know how this compares to other mobile games, but from the mobile games I played, it's pretty good. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'm still forming my opinions about the story and the lore itself. Again, that's going to come down in a different video. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you soon.